there's one more thing I can do to make my styles even more efficient. Expression Web automatically creates styles inside the page you're working on. See, these styles are listed under Current Page. But I can now move these styles into external style sheets, and I make those styles more versatile, meaning I can use them more easily on other pages by attaching them, and I also make my pages more efficient, because instead of having to list all of these styles at the top of every page in my site, a browser will look at that one external style sheet and understand the display settings for all of the content in my site. So let me show you how you can create multiple external style sheets in Expression Web. Let's go ahead and save this page just to make sure we don't lose all the good work we've done. Yes, we will add content regions soon, and we want to create a new CSS file. And you can just go right here to the shortcut, create a new CSS file. Now we're going to save it, and at the same time I suggest you create a new folder and call it CSS so that we can keep all of our CSS files organized in one place in our site. Let's call this first one Format. And now let's create another CSS file. Save it into that same CSS folder. And let's call this one Layout. And finally, I'll create a third one. Save it, and I'm going to call this one Main. And now I'm going to give myself a little more room over here. So let me go up and I'm going to close the toolbox. Remember, you can always get that back by selecting it from the task pane menu. And let's go back to our main master page. And you see all of my styles listed here. Now I need to attach that new style sheet. So I can attach my format style sheet. And let's attach the layout style sheet. I'll come back to that main style sheet in a moment, but first what I want to do is to organize these styles so that all of my formatting styles are separate from my layout styles. This comes in handy because you might want to use, for example, your image left and right styles on more pages than you'd want to use this layout. So let's move these image left and right styles into our format style sheet. And you can do that simply by clicking and dragging them over the name of the style sheet. Click and drag, and you can move them into place. Now this body style really is a format style because that's controlling our text font. The nav bottom style really is a format style because that's controlling that list item in the nav bottom. You could kind of go either way with that one. You might say, well, I'm only going to use that style if I've used nav bottom for layout. But for now, let's be consistent. Only layout options in the layout style sheet. And all of your layout styles should start with pound signs. So they should be pretty easy to identify. So that's our nav box, that main style, top, and finally the container. And everything else I'm going to keep in format. Of course, you can organize your styles however you like, and you can create as many external style sheets as you like. You also can rearrange styles within these dialogues. So if you decide that you want your style 1 at the very bottom of the list, or you want to keep your nav bottom at the very bottom of the list, you can click and drag to move things and group them in a way that makes logical sense to you. And just so you can see what's happening, when you do that, those styles physically get moved into your CSS style sheets. So they're no longer at the top of your master page document in the HTML. They've been removed from your master page document and now saved in this external style sheet. Well, they haven't actually been saved yet. That little asterisk tells you they haven't been saved. So let me Control S as I check these and make sure I'm saving my styles. Now I'm going to do one more advanced technique with CSS. I'm going to attach both of these style sheets to the main style sheet so that I can attach only the main style sheet and have both of those style sheets in place on my master page. Here's how this works. First, let's remove these style sheets. So I want to remove the link to my style sheet. Yep, I really do. And yes, it's going to make this page look terrible for a minute. Right-click, remove link. Yes, I really want to remove all of those styles. Now I want to attach those styles, but first I want to choose the main style sheet and I want to attach my format and my layout to my main style sheet. Now let me save this. Now let me go back to the master page, and all I have to do here is attach my main CSS. The advantage of doing this is that if you have several style sheets and later you decide you want to further break them up and add another one, you won't have to go back to every page where you've attached them and attach that new one. You can just go back to the main style sheet and remove or attach a new style sheet, and it will affect all of the pages where that main style sheet is attached. One last tip, you can open and close these using the plus and minus sign. And you see now you've got a nice clean organization of your styles, and you have a more efficient site structure by attaching these as an external style sheet.